All our crafting elements, always very unique and very exclusive for Hochanda. Whether you're starting out with fabric or an experienced sewer, we love to bring projects that every ability can really have a go at. So don't miss the Mill Shop online shows on Hochanda.
Hi, my name is Catherine Sturrick and I work in collaboration with FMM. FMM creates some wonderful cake decorating cutters. We've brought them to Hochanda and used them with air dry clay to create some beautiful flowers, leaves and other florals. We use them then to decorate various products such as laser cut designs, mixed media, card making and many other items. So join me on Hochanda and let me guide you through the process of putting together various flowers such as roses, peonies and lots more besides.
Hello, very good morning to you on this fine Sunday morning. Well, we have got a fantastic, bright and breezy start for you this morning because I'm with two of the most fabulous ladies. I'm here with the lovely Gail and Sue from Daisy Chain Designs. Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Good morning. So they arrived last night. Gail is here. Did we just see Sue there? Well, Sue and I we conversed this morning. We said, got to be in pink this morning. So did you notice that? I hope everybody's paying attention to that we're both in our lovely pinks. Now, ladies, you have got some new items for us. We've got two different shows. We're going to be on at 7 and on at 11. That's right. And so we've got some old favourites that sold out that you brought back by popular demand. We've got some news, and the 11 o'clock show is going to be completely different, isn't it?
It is, that's right. We've got two different shows, lots of different things on it. So, but some of the stuff actually on the latest shows behind us as well. So we're giving everyone a little sneaky peek as to what's going on. So that's great.
Yes, exactly. Now Gail is sandwiched in between us, bless her, like a tennis ball match, looking between the two of us. There she is. She's ready to do some demonstrations. So let's crack on and have a little look. Do look over my shoulder, a sneaky peek of later on show. But let's start with a brand new today, and this is the beautiful Happy Campers cushion pattern and starter kit. Now, you've already been shopping ahead for this one. Talk to me about what's in this kit then, Sue.
Well, Gail has done this fantastic design. I absolutely love a camper van. So what we decided we would do, I know it's lovely with a little sentiment on the back there as well, isn't it? Happy Campers. So you get the letters in the pattern as well to have that along with the camper vans and the bunting. So I put together a starter kit for that, Fee. So basically...
I've just lost all the buttons. I'm so sorry. There were 3 buttons that you will get, everybody. You can tell the Fee's in the studio.
So I put together the grey fabric for the cushion, so there's enough there for the front and the back. And then underneath that is the iron-on Vilene, and that's just to help support the applique. There's a sheet of white felt to help with the applique also. And then you've got your red, your blue and your yellow spotty fabrics for the letters and the camper vans themselves, the buttons and the 2 little pieces of felt there, Fee, there for the tyres and also for the wing mirrors that you can see on the camper van as well. So and then of course you get the pattern with full colour instructions. So all you'll need to buy is the cushion pad, a zip, and then your fusible webbing of your choice, if you decide to put a zip in. But Gail has got some fabulous instructions on how easy it is to insert a zip.
Fantastic. I'm getting over my zip fear because we had Ali there the other last week. Ali Stitchy Fingers. I'm getting over that fear now. But you said this is a starter kit, so we've got the letters in there. Absolutely fantastic. So we can get cracking on this straight away. It's lovely. It's fun. It's breezy. It's a great design, Gail. It's just beautiful.
I loved it when she showed it to me. I really, really liked it, and I love her colour choice as well for the camper vans, because they're the colours that I know you don't see spotty camper vans very often, but you do see those colours around, don't you? So they are really nice. they work really well together with the grey background.
Fantastic. £17.49, 920272. I'll go down the counter, then we'll have a chat to Gail. Now, our lovely sausage dog. Now, he's in two parts. You're very cruel. Splitting him in half there, Sue, Gail.
It's again a great design, and so one cushion's got one half of him on, which is in front of you there, Fee, and then the other cushion is the back half of him, so you can put them together, or you could, if you wanted to, make one great big long cushion, like a bolster cushion. That would work really nicely. And you've also got Gail's put instructions in for a bag, which I think is just hanging up behind you.
It is indeed, this lovely tote.
Yeah, and that again, you can see how he wraps around the bag as well, front and back. So he's a super design. I really loved him, and I think
isn't that fun?
It's fun, isn't it? There's enough. So I put a starter kit together for that.
Yeah.
Again, what I tend to find with a lot of people is they want to choose their own background fabric. So they may not want to have white. They might want to use grey or a colour that coordinates in with their own sort of home deck. So what I've actually done here is just put together the spotty fabrics in strips. And there's enough spotty fabric in there to make two dogs. So you could either make two cushions, you could make the cushion in the bag, or you could obviously applicate the dog onto whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
I've also included in there a little square of felt.
Yeah.
That's to help with the 3D, because his little ear and his tail's three-dimensional, just has a little wag. And then you've got the little ribbon for his collar, and two little gift charms in there, that little gift tags that just go on the bottom of his collar. So we've just put a few little bits and pieces in there to basically get you started. But it's a really fun project.
It's fantastic, and we can make two doggies, and we have enough to make our butterflies and our hearts. And if you were doing the tote bag, you said enough for those strips around the handles and around the top. Sorry, you just said that, Sue. I just repeated what you just told me. £12.49. Fantastic kit. 493541. Beautiful. Now the gingerbread house. We all go directly over to this. Now it's a decoration. If you want to make it a box with a lid that you take off, you can do. This lid doesn't come off, just so you know. But tell me about this kit and why you've included what you have here, Sue.
Well, Gail came up with this little design a while ago, and wherever I've always taken it out, when we used to do quilt shows back in the day, it always attracted a lot of attention, and it's always fun. And whenever I bring it onto Hochanda, we always allow to fix. I think it's one of those excuses to go completely mad with all of your trimmings and buttons and embellishments and just have some fun with it. And it's just a really lovely design, isn't it? It's a real talking point. So what I've done with this is just put together a felt starter kit. I didn't include the embellishments. I thought I'll leave that up to everyone at home. But you've got enough felt in there. You've got 5 squares of the gingerbread colour felt, and you've got 2 squares of white to do the snow, 1 square of green and 1 square of red. And Gail's got some really clever little tips of how to get the candy canes made up really nicely as well. So it's just a really fun Christmas project, isn't it?
It's stunning, absolutely stunning, and full colour instructions, fantastic instructions that easy to follow. This is what I love. 011665, the gingerbread house pattern with the felt starter kit, £13.49. Brilliant prices. The ladies are giving it away this morning. Now, this is a gorgeous tea set. This is fun. You could Christmassy this up one as well, couldn't you? I don't know if that's a sentence. Christmassy this one up.
Well, I put this in actually because Gail and I were talking about these projects, and I think what's fun is I know we've sort of put quite a few Christmassy themed ideas together, because I always don't know about you, but I get to August and I do sort of start thinking, well, need to start thinking about what we're going to be doing for Christmas, what we're going to be making, and I think some of these little projects would make really lovely Christmas presents for friends who either craft or don't, because you've got your 1 lump or 2, which is a little pin cushion in the shape of a teacup, even complete with little sugar cubes, which are pins. And then you've got, I think you've picked up the bourbon biscuit there, Fee. That is a little needle case, which is really lovely. And there's a little jammy dodger, which is a concealed tape measure. You know the tape measures you can buy where you press the button in the centre. Yes. So you can have your own jammy dodger. But even that would just make a really lovely little gift for somebody. So that's the one pattern set. And then the other one is the tea cosy pattern. And that is, again, beautiful, based on a little tea shop with all the nice cakes there. again, you've got the tea cosy pattern, but you might want to make that into a little cushion for someone maybe who's got, you know, likes tea and cakes or got a tea shop business or something. So I just think they're adorable. And
the
fun to make.
coasters, Sue, are these just an option in terms of...
Yes, there's included in there are the designs for the coasters as well.
Fantastic. So we're getting all of those designs in this. One lump or two, the pin cushion and the tea cosy pattern with your coasters. And Gail, you were saying about one lady had sent in her beautiful teacup design, hadn't she? But with a difference, wasn't it?
Yeah, she made it into a fascinator and that. So it looked amazing. So if you didn't put the weight in there, so it would be nice and light, just put your stuff in there. You could attach it to a headband and maybe make a little fascinator. Maybe for that sort of Alice in Wonderland
totally.
look.
We were talking about those lovely 50s and 60s dresses that, and people do, they love to dress up and, you know, sometimes when we are allowed out, there's certain events and bank holidays, and I just thought it was genius as well. Make it into a lovely fascinator, the teacup. Isn't that beautiful? £13.99, 016365. Now, my jingle bells, I'll put this on Facebook, everybody, so the pair of legs, you have to guess whose legs are they that are holding up the Jingle Bells quilt. Talk to me about this one, Sue.
I've always loved Gail's fleece quilt. She's made several different designs over the years, and this one is one of my favourites because I think there's nothing quite like a fleecy quilt at Christmas time. But the nice thing with this particular quilt is it comes up really quickly because the applique is all done per square, and it's actually just backed onto fleece. And then she's got this very clever technique where you bring your seams to the front, and then you clip them, and that's what gives it that really gorgeous sort of soft. You know, you just want to stroke it. And she's put some bells on there as well. You don't have to do that. Obviously, you can embellish it however you like. But again, all of the applique is on there. So if you didn't want to necessarily make the quilt, you might think, oh, well, I really like the snowman design. I might just upscale him and put him on a cushion. Or I might just, you know, make some tea towels or something. Again, all the shapes and the applique designs are in there for the robin, the Rudolph, the little Christmas tree. And, of course, you've also got the letters already reversed for you, which actually spell out Jingle Bells as well. And I've just put a little pack of Christmas buttons in there just to sort of get you started. But again, you can make it in any colour you like. Gail's gone traditionally with red, white and green. But, you know, you could use some, you know, blues or golds, whatever colour you like. It's entirely up to you.
These are always very, very popular. They're so eye-catching. I absolutely adore these.
They are so soft. It's such a lovely project.
Gorgeous, with the fleecy material there as well. £9.99 for the pattern, and those beautiful little Christmas buttons in there. 069256. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, I'm a massive, massive fan of those. Now, these sold out the last time they were on the show.
They did?
Yes.
Gail launched them back on the show before last, and we sold out of them completely. So we've actually got a new set that we'll be featuring at 11 o'clock. But I bought those back by popular demand because they are just such fun and very different. I don't think I've ever seen gift tags made up or designed before, but you can actually use them for Christmas decorations as well. Don't have to be just for gift tags. You've got all 7 different designs on the one pattern fee, and you've also got a complete alphabet in there as well, already reversed for you. So if you wanted to personalise your gift tag or mitten for a particular family member, then you can just do that easily with the design. So I've put in there enough fabrics and felts to make 7 mittens. I've also put there the little tags, which I think say "with love." I've also put the baker's twine in, which is the red and white twine, and a skein of thread and the pattern. So it really pretty much is a complete kit ready to go. And I've also offered it in 4 different colourways.
Yes.
Because, you know, although red's traditionally a very popular colour with red work, I actually really like the grey. I think that looks particularly nice with the red. It sort of makes it stand out a bit more. But I've also done them in blue and green, and the last time we were on, every colourway actually sold out and more besides. So I've now managed to get my hands on a bit more felt, because of course now the trouble is it's actually getting hold of the stock. You know, we're beginning to find that more and more with the fabrics and the felts and things. It's quite challenging. So I was so glad to be able to get some more back in stock.
And they sold out the last time, so please don't rest on your laurels on this one. They're lovely bite-sized projects there. And also the template is available as your perfect partner as sort of an end of call. So if you're on the phone, this will be offered to you. If you're on the web, I can show you that. And that is your template there to make mittens galore, mitten bunting. Like Sue said, you know, it could be mittens for a baby's first Christmas or baby's baptism or just anything really. It could be anything, christening, it doesn't matter. It's just make mittens galore. So there you go. It's a free delivery add-on, no extra delivery there. We've got the daisy chains Christmas mittens template. We've got different little tags for later on as well in the second show. And last but not least, you've probably been admiring them from afar, our lovely Christmas stockings. Look at these, razzle. We've got Snowman Jacob, and we can personalise our own stockings there. And here's lovely Alice. Talk to me about these. These are gorgeous.
I think we actually only had these on once before, which was right at Christmas. I think Gail finally, I say finally, Gail finally managed to sort of finish them all off in time for Christmas last year. So they've only actually, this is only the second time they've been on.
Oh.
And the last time we had them, again, we sold out of them. So I've managed again now to get hold of more fleece, more of the glitter felt. So again, the one you're holding up there, Fiona, is the Santa one. And with all of them, they all have their own alphabet in. So you can personalise them for the adult or child that you're making it for. And you've got a choice. So the one we've put on this show is the Santa.
Yeah.
But there's also, if you prefer, there's the option for the reindeer or for the snowman. And those two will actually be on the 11 o'clock show. But they are actually on the website if you wanted to get ahead and have a look at those.
Fantastic. Now we get everything in there in terms of that personalisation with the names. Do we?
Yes. Yep. So you've got the alphabet in there, and
Yep.
then in the kit I've included the fleeces and the glitter felt. Again, enough to be able to do a name.
Yeah.
I've also included in there a little bag which has got the embellishments in. So with the Santa, you've got the stripy ribbon, you've got the snowflakes. I think you've got the beads in there for his little eyes as well. So it is pretty. I think it's pretty much. There's most things in there that I think you need with the pattern.
Fantastic. Can I just say as well, bizarrely it said dispatched on the 27th of December. I don't think that's right, is it?
No.
That was a bit of a glitch to everybody.
I can get that out before the 27th of December.
Yeah, I just
ready
want to
to go.
highlight. It says it on the screen now, so can we just ignore that, everybody? But you later on in the second show, but you can shop ahead, like we said, for the snowman and the reindeer. But this is the Santa there as well, 574001. It'll be going out within the week, won't it?
It will.
Yeah,
It will be out this week.
Okay, listen, fantastic. Thank you for taking me through all of those. I know we're going to join Gail now. Gail, I've noticed on all of these, because she's hiding her talents under a bit of a bushel, I just want to promote your website.
Oh, thank you, Fee.
endlessthreaddesign.com.
It is.
Because it says
that's
it on here, doesn't it? Now, because I know you work in partnership with Daisy Chain, because your beautiful designs. But she needs to get tweeting everybody. Are you on Twitter?
No.
Are you on Instagram? Phew, I thought it was going to be a big fat no then. Are you on Facebook?
I am indeed.
Now, she can't get out and teach at the moment because obviously Wales is in lockdown and also, you know, whatever. But www.endlessthreaddesign.com. There we go. So
yeah, that would be lovely. And I've just started writing a newsletter, so it'd be really nice if people subscribe to the newsletter, because then I can let you know when I'm appearing on Hochanda with Sue, and also let you know about all the new designs that are coming out.
Yeah.
So I feel sometimes I'm, you know, tucked away in Wales and nobody actually knows what I'm up to.
You're
And
like Britain's best kept secret.
Yes. And then, and also it's really nice because then I can get some communication with people. So if there's things that you want to see or whatever, then I can maybe design something that somebody's come up with an idea.
There you go. She's open to offers, everybody.
Yeah. I've got
we need to
plenty
keep her busy. I know
Yeah.
Daisy Chains keeps her busy to a degree, but she's got a lot of time on her hands here now.
Exactly. I've got a few ideas of my own that were milling around in my head, but I'm always happy to listen to other people. And that's so what I want to talk to you about is the mittens.
Yes, please.
And that. So I want to reassure people, because sometimes when you get the kit in there, sometimes what I write on the back of the pattern, because you can only buy fabrics in half meters and meters, and then Sue cuts the kits in different sizes, I want to just assure everybody that there's plenty of fabric here that for you to make all of those designs. And you might see that when you look at the designs at the moment, they might look like they're hanging upside down. That was because I designed them as gift tags. Okay, so if I just bring this in a second, you can see a little gift box, and then here's some of the tags. So with this one, you see he's facing this way because I intend hanging him up, And then, and with the other gift tags, I've done them the other way because I intended then for them to be tied to a present. Okay, so that's, I just wanted to explain to you why sometimes they may look like they're upside down. It depends on which orientation you want, whether you want to use them to place on your gift or whether you want to use them to maybe hang from a tree. Okay, so if we have a look at the fabric, if we just have a look at this gift tag and we have a look at the size of the piece of fabric that Sue has given you, and bearing in mind this is double the thickness, okay, you can see that Sue says that we've given you enough for 7, but if you look at that, there's actually enough to probably make 8 or 10. So my advice is just make one first of all and see how little felt you actually use, and then if you really put them, you know, closely together when you're cutting them out, you could probably get quite a few extra in there. I just wanted to reassure people of that. And again, the same with the piece of calico that you've got in there. So, okay, it looks quite a small piece of calico, but in the pattern I tell you to divide it up with lines. And then if you look at the small piece that I have used, okay, you can see how many designs you can actually get out of there. So be assured that there's plenty of fabric there for you. Let me move that out of the way. So I want to talk to you about how to cut out the felt and that. So in the pattern, you've got your template. And what I ask you to do is to actually stick it to a piece of card. I just use a glue stick, apply that over to the back of the pattern, and then stick it to a piece of card. That gives you something nice and firm. Okay, so when you cut it out, you can see here's one that I've cut out. I've got a nice firm template now to cut round or draw round. So there's several ways that you can cut out your felt. And you'll find your preferred method. So the first one is you could put your template onto your felt, and then with a pencil you can draw around the template and then cut it out. Sue and Fee mentioned earlier that we've actually got the acrylic templates on there. Now if you want to stretch to the expense of having one of these, they are amazing. Okay, this gives you a nice firm surface, and this time you could actually get a craft knife and you could go around with a craft knife as well. And also think, when you have the pattern, what I want to encourage people, I'm going to give you a full set of instructions, so you're going to know exactly how to make the mittens. But Hochanda gives me an opportunity to share a few other things with you. You've got this design now, so you could do lots of things with it, whether it is this template or this. Why not use it for applique? Why not put some heat and bond or bond web on the back, and then you could applique the design, and then you could stick these onto quilts, onto cushions, and another idea that I came up with is with the felt that you've got. Do you remember, you know all those decorative stitches you've got on your machine that you never ever use? Then why not take a square of felt? If I just lay this down so you can see. I've cut it out, but I've kept the scrap so you can see. I've taken a square of felt and I've then stitched using all my lovely decorative designs on my machine that I never use and just randomly stitched them all. Then I put my acrylic template on there and cut round there. And now I've got a really nice tag without having, can you imagine these all in different colour felts and that? Oh. So there's lots, even though the pattern just tells you to make the gift tags, once you've got these designs and shapes, then you could take them into other things, you know, with different fabrics and that. So I'd like you to get your money's worth out of what we're doing. So I don't actually like to draw on my felt. One of the reasons is when I come to cut it out later, I always tend to leave little marks on there. So that's why I want to encourage you that if you do draw on the felt, draw on the wrong side. Okay. So with the mittens, you could have a right or a left, couldn't you? Yeah. So if I wanted a left-hand one, okay, I would actually, turn the template over and draw this way, so that if I left a little pen mark on there, when I turned it over, it wouldn't have any pen marks on there. But what I'm going to share with you, Fee, is my favourite method, and this is using freezer paper. You can get the freezer paper on Perfect Partners as well, when you check out. So the freezer paper's got a wax coating on one side, okay, and what happens is you heat that with the iron, and then it will adhere to your felt. So to draw the template on there, you've got two choices. One, you can just pop your template over your drawing and draw around it with a pencil. if I'm doing 8 or 10 of these, I find that a little bit laborious, and sometimes I'm not that accurate with a pencil. So going back to my template that I did earlier, so whether you're using the card from the pattern or you've bought the plastic one, I can then just take a pencil and then draw around there. It's much quicker and much more accurate than actually drawing freehand. So once I've done that, I'll take that, pop that to one side. I'm just going to remember to plug my iron in.
I'm just going to update, Gail, just while you're talking.
sorry,
Half the stock's
okay.
already gone on the red mittens.
Oh, good
Yeah, so
gosh.
half the stock's already gone, just to flag that up for everybody.
Yeah, they are lovely. I really like them. I think it's really nice as a gift tag and that if you put it on a present for somebody, that they could then keep it and then hang it on the Christmas tree, and then bring them out every year. So here's my piece of felt. And here's my gift tag now drawn onto my freezer paper. So then what I do is I pop that onto my felt, and with a warm iron, I have only just turned this on, so I hope it's warm enough. I'm just going to iron. The good thing with this is it's a wool mix felt. So just to reassure people, I can pop an iron straight onto this felt and not worry about it. So if when you get your felt home, where it's been put in the kit, it might have a crease in there, then don't worry, even with a bit of steam, the felt will be fine because it's a wool mix. Ooh. You couldn't do that to acrylic felt. Now you can see that the paper is adhered to my felt. The good thing with freezer paper is I can now pull this off, okay, and it's left no residue on my fabric. And then I can pop it back on and iron it over again. Okay, now the reason that I like this is what it does is it now makes my felt quite solid. Okay, so when I come to cut it, it's a lot nicer to cut. It's sort of firm, so I can cut round there nicely. You can see how easy it will cut.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely that we've got this 4-colour option. So half the stock of the red, I should reiterate, has gone already. But don't forget, you've got the green, you've got the blue and the grey. And I love the fact that we've got that extra in there. So really, we are going to make more than
exactly.
7, aren't
And
we?
I've just got a quick example of the grey, if anybody wanted to see the grey. The grey actually works really nicely as well with the... I'm sorry, this comes in the later show, but just to show you one that's actually in the grey felt, it works really nicely with the red. And also, although the red thread is in there, you could stitch these out in any colour. So now you can see where I've started to cut this out. I've cut out the centre first. I generally go with cutting out the centre first and then cutting out the outside. It doesn't matter which way round you cut. And with a craft knife or a pair of scissors, if you just score the middle before you cut it out, and then you can see, here's one I've cut out. And they actually look, because the paper's on there and it gives you a really nice surface, they actually look like they've been die cut, don't they?
They do.
You can cut that accurately, and that's, I think, because of the freezer paper. So, but it's entirely up to you. So you can see there's some that I've cut in the different colours. So what I'm going to do in the later show is I'm actually going to cover the red work, but what I want to do is explain to you how I put these mittens together. So I did my red work, my little piece of red work, and then I took my mitten, and now you need to decide what your orientation is, whether he's going to be facing this way because he's on a tag and you might want him to hang that way, or whether you want him to hang on a Christmas tree, so you might want him... I'll get it the right way round in a minute. Sorry about that. Yeah, that way round, okay. So he hangs up there. It's terrible, isn't it? We're all back to front. I don't know where I'm going with that. Sorry about that. So anyway, you decide on your orientation, and then what I do is I have chosen to sew these on the machine. Now you can sew it all by hand. The reason I've chosen to do it on the machine is just basically for speed, and also I love using the sewing machine. So I've done a blanket stitch all the way around the inside to hold this firmly. Now if I just bring this one in, I've sewn this one in white so you can actually see the blanket stitch.
I like
better.
that.
Yeah, and so you can use a coordinating one. I'll give you a little tip. If you're new to sewing, if you use the same colour thread as the felt and you have a little wobble or you go for a wander or your stitches are not that even, nobody's going to notice. Once you start using contrasting threads, you make a mistake and it's waving there for everybody to see. So I'll let you decide which one you prefer. So if you're new, you may want to start with this. If you haven't got a buttonhole or blanket stitch on your machine, there's nothing to stop you using a straight stitch. I've done a straight stitch, I've done a zigzag stitch. The possibilities are endless. Or again, you can hand stitch. Okay, and then once you've done that, you're going to trim away all the excess fabric from the back, and then let me just trim away the rest of this fabric. We're going to stick it to another piece of felt. Now, lots of people have said, why didn't I cut out 2 mitten shapes? And the reason that I didn't cut out 2 mitten shapes is I find that if I had the 2 mittens, okay, and then I needed to join them together, and I was trying to join all the edges, I probably wouldn't get it to join neatly. So I find it easier to take the whole mitten, pop it onto a piece of felt, put a little bit of glue on there, and then with the 2 layers together, I just cut out again. And then what I've got is I've definitely got both edges completely together. And then once I've done that, I then go around again on the machine or by hand with a blanket stitch. Now, would you like me to show the blanket stitch?
Would it be all right to have a quick recap, and then because we'll go on to your lovely camper van if that's all right?
No, that's fine.
That's all right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Gail. Simply because we're jam-packed with such gorgeousness on the show. So the red already over 50% of the stock has gone. Don't forget you've got those 4 gorgeous colourways in those beautiful mitts. But let's talk about the camper van now, and we'll mention a few of the other projects we've got on the show because you're already shopping ahead. This is brand new today. This is beautiful Happy Campers cushion pattern and starter kit. So what are we getting in this kit then, Sue?
Excuse me. Oh dear, I wasn't expecting to start talking then. Excuse me. What I've included in this is enough grey fabric to make the cushion. I've also included in there 3 squares of your red, your yellow and your blue spotty fabrics. You've also got in there your violin, the iron-on violin, and that helps, you put that behind your fabric before you start appliquing, Fiona, and then what that does, it helps to support your applique so you get a really nice sharp crisp edge. So I've included that in there. I've also put in there a square of white felt, which is for your actual camper van shapes. You've also got your grey and your little black squares of felt along with 3 buttons. So it's pretty much a starter kit. As I say, what you'll need to find is if you choose to put a zip in, you'll have to find a zip, which is easy enough, and also your cushion pad. And the other thing I don't now include is the fusible webbing, because a lot of people have got their own preference to what they prefer. There's several different brands out there, and I've just actually found over the years that it's probably easier for most people have got it. And the reason I do that as well is it keeps the cost of the kit down. Exactly. Because that's the payoff. You know, if you start putting too much extra things in, then you have to start charging more. So I'm always very mindful of the fact that a lot of us sewers have got lot of stuff, and if we haven't, we might want to make it up in our own, you know, our own sort of chosen fusible or whatever. So that's the reason that we do it. Exactly, lovely. And I do love your price as well, because it makes it so accessible for everybody. £17.49, 920272, and a third of the stock has already gone. The long and short of it, I'll just mention a couple of others and then we'll go straight back to Gail. This is the lovely Dachshund, how do you pronounce it? Dachshund? Sausage dog, yeah. My friend's got one. Diggity is called Diggity Dog. So this is 2 halves of your lovely sausage dog, your Dachshund, and he can become 1. And we get enough to make 2 doggies, don't we? There's enough, yes, there's enough fabric in there to make 2 actual doggies. So you've got enough to do a cushion and a bag, or 2 cushions, or even the start of a small quilt. You've got enough, you know, designs on there for certainly for enough fabric in there for 2 doggies to get you started. Fantastic. And we've also got it on the beautiful tote bag here as well. Plenty there if you want to do it on the front and back of a bag, and around the piping, around the handles and the top of the actual bag itself, and the butterfly and the heart. So there's always extra in there from Daisy Chains. £12.49 for the long and the short of it. 493-541. Shop ahead for the lovely Santa stocking and the lovely can't have a Daisy Chain show without our beautiful fleece blanket quilt there in the Christmas design, and we've got our tea party and our lovely gingerbread house starter kit. So there's loads on the show, and the 11 o'clock show will be completely different. I just want to flag that up, but I do want to utilise our lovely Gail. www.endlessthreaddesigns.com. That's where she's got, if you want to, I'm tarting her out there. Over to you, darling.
Thank you, that's really kind of you, Fee. Let's talk about the camper van. And first of all, I just want to show you that what I've done, because I can't handle the cushion at the moment, I've just popped one of the camper vans onto a little bag. So again, you get the applique in your pattern, so then it's up to you to do whatever you want with this. So you can make yourself maybe some like little sandwich bags. The applique for this design, part of it's been done in fabric, which is included in the kit, and the other part has been done in felt. Two reasons why I've done that. I actually quite like the texture of felt. I like the fact that it makes the camper van stand out a little bit further. And also sometimes when you're using very strong fabrics, like the blue spot and the red spot, sometimes when you lay a white fabric on top, you can end up seeing the darker fabric through it when you're doing applique. And the beauty of felt is it's because it's nice and thick in that you don't get that line showing through. That's not to say that just because I've done the applique in two different fabrics, that you can't then go ahead and make more of the design and do the whole thing in felt, or maybe do the whole thing in fabric. Again, I'm just giving you a starting point. It's up to you to then get creative and do other things. The same with the letters as well. I'll just bring a little cushion in. I used the letters from the Happy Campers, and then I just appliqued them onto a little cushion. So again, you could do that, make several cushions, or imagine if you put the Happy and then you had the camper van in the middle and then put campers at the bottom. Also, the camper vans, because they're quite sweet, what if you did a whole row of them and made like a little draft excluder? And that, so, you know, be creative. You've got enough in there to make exactly what I've made, but there's nothing to stop you then with the pattern going on to make as many things as you want. So let's talk through how to do the applique. So some of you out there may perhaps you haven't done applique before, used a fusible web. So just want to quickly run through that. So fusible web has got a sticky side on one side, with a gluey side on one side. It's not sticky to the touch, sorry, and a paper side. The big thing to remember with fusibles is you always work on the paper side. Never make the mistake of trying to work on the gluey rough side. And then you're going to pop your paper over the top of your camper van shape. I clearly say on here that it's a spotty fabric, so you know, so you can't make any mistakes. And then you're going to draw around there. Now notice, I'm really close to the edge of the paper because this is a hidden cost in your work, so you want to be as thrifty as possible with it. You want to save all your money for all the beautiful fabric, not for stuff that you can't see. And then you can see that in the V there, I've put the little flower because I know that when I come to cut this out, I need one piece of this in red and I need one little flower in red. So I've put the two close together. Okay, so then I'm going to cut this out. And then I'm going to stick it on my fabric, and the beauty is I'm going to use as little fabric as possible, and I'm going to waste as little fusible as possible. So if I just bring this to the ironing board then, and pop this on the ironing board to take my piece of fabric. Again, with your fabric, okay, be economical, put your fusible right into the corner of the fabric, and the fabric that Sue has given you for this kit, be assured there's enough there to do the camper vans and enough for the words on the back as well and all the letters. Now what you're doing is you're just heating this because you want to melt the glue. So you don't need to be ironing like when you're pressing your trousers or whatever. You're just literally putting the iron on there to just melt the glue. Okay, once you've done that, you can cut it out. The joy of this is that it will give you a really neat edge and you won't get any fraying. So you can see here, I've started to cut one out. Let me move this out of the way a second. You can see I've started to cut it out. And again, like I said with the felt earlier, because the paper's on there, it gives you a nice firm surface. And also gives you a nice accurate line. So you'll just go around and cut all of them out, all of the shapes. Now I tend to cut all of the shapes first. Okay, so here's one I've prepared. And here's the little shape, and there's the flower as well. So in the pattern, I tell you exactly where to place the camper vans. And if I just show you on the page, can you see here? I show you them in a row. I've got little arrows pointing to where they go. So I don't leave anything to chance, okay? When you look at the pattern, you think, my God, there's a lot of pages in there. And that's because I don't leave you trying to second guess what I think. I like to think that I've got everything in there. Yeah. Okay, with your fabric in the kit you get some iron-on violin or interfacing, and the reason that I've put that in there is it helps when you're doing the applique. It helps to keep the surface really, really flat. If you used a heavier weight fabric, then I wouldn't worry about the violin. Now when it comes to popping your fabric, your pieces now onto your fabric, okay, you lay them onto your background fabric. This is where I always advise people just to put something over the top, because there's nothing worse than getting a little bit of glue on the iron. And I've been doing this for years, and trust me, I have sometimes laid it down the wrong way and stuck it to the back of the iron, and it actually takes a long time to get it off the iron. So it's definitely worth just putting a little piece of scrap fabric on there. And again, that's all you're doing is putting heat on there to melt the glue. So we're not having to rub and iron that. So just pop that on there. Sometimes with thicker fabrics, if you ever applique with thicker fabrics, and I do, like with the quilt, okay, sometimes I'll turn the work over and I'll actually pop the iron on the back as well, just to make sure that the pieces are adhered. Okay, so that's as easy and as simple as it is to adhere the fabric part of the camper van. Just want to draw your attention now to one that I've prepared. And if we have a look at this, I'll turn it round this way. Okay, so if we look at the three vans, I tell you in the pattern it needs to be 4 inches from the edge, so you can put a ruler across there, and 1.5 inches apart, and then because that allows you to get the wing mirrors and everything in. Now, a lot of people, when they applique, they put the whole design down. So let me just bring this in. You see the whole design is down, and then they will sew round it all in one go. Now, that's fine, you can do that, but I choose to do it in stages. And the reason I choose to do it in stages is, for those of you who applique a lot, you'll understand me with this. I don't like tying the ends of the thread off. So every time I sew a bit, I have to pull the threads to the back and tie them off, and I don't really like doing that. So by doing it in stages, I don't have to do that. I can just do little reverse stitches. So stick with me on this. I start sewing here. I work all the way around to there. I come back up and stop sewing there. I can just reverse and just cut my threads off. No pulling it back, okay, to the back. If I did it on this and the whole thing was down, I would have to sew from there to there and stop. I'd have 2 ends to tie off here, 2 ends to tie off there. Then I'd come over to this side and I would have to start from the blue there, 2 ends to tie off, up to there, 2 ends to tie off. So that's all of those ends that I've had to tie it off. By doing it this way, I haven't had to tie anything off. I can just do a quick little reverse and snip off. Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense, and I've got to say, what was it, 70% of the stock's already gone. So please don't miss out on the Happy Campers cushion pattern kit.
That's lovely, thank you. And so then, moving on, I put the little wheels on. So I've left this in stages so you can see where I'm going with it. So I've put the little wheel on, and now to give the wheel a little bit of interest, I've actually put a straight stitch on there to make it look like it's got tyres. And again, because I haven't stuck everything down, it means I can start sewing from here. I can sew down to the end, and then I can reverse back up. I can move across, sew down to the end, reverse back up, and so on. And that way, when I put the bumper on, to the next one, I've covered over all these ends. So although it seems a little bit strange that I'm working in pieces, I'm doing it because ultimately it saves me a lot of time. So you can see after a little while, sadly, it doesn't work anymore and you have to tie the ends off. Okay, so now you can see I've put the bumper on, and then I've stitched all the way around there with a straight stitch. Now the lovely thing with using felt is because it's got the raw edge doesn't fray or anything, you can just sew around with a straight stitch. So if you're new to doing applique or sewing, and you know you've been sort of worried about trying this kind of technique out, this is a lovely place to start. It's like a good entry level, because with a combination of the felt and a little bit of fabric, it makes it quite easy for you to get to grips with. And at the end of the day, if you really wanted to get it finished and you're not too sure about the sewing, there's nothing to stop you with a good fabric glue sticking this down and actually adhering it on, especially like the little headlamps and that. You could use a fabric glue, or you could replace those with buttons if you look at the circles and think that's a little bit too much for me.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gail. And the only thing that's not in that kit is the zip and the cushion, but everything else is.
It is, yes. Yeah. Everything's included in there.
Enough to do those lovely words of the Happy Camper on the back that Gail was just talking about. Am I all right just to have a
quick recap and then
You
we'll come
are.
to your
You
third
just carry
demonstration?
on.
Is that
Yeah,
all right?
yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Gail. So don't forget, if you're loving poinsettias and Santas behind Gail there and behind myself, this is in the second show at 11 o'clock. So we've got the lovely Happy Campus cushion. We've got the lovely, the dachshund, the long and short of it, don't forget. I just want to talk about the daisy chain design gingerbread house pattern. So you get all the lovely felts in the brown, the white and the green. And it's a lovely decorative box. And you brought this back because it's so popular, Sue, didn't you?
I did. I've had it a few times, in the last couple of years on Hochanda, and it always sells out. It's just such a fantastic design. And again, Gail's so very good at her applique. And I love those tips. That's something I've learned today, because I like applique, but I tend to be a tie-off girl, do one line and tie off. So I have also learned a lot this morning from just being here and listening to her. But yeah, it's a great fun project. And I think, having the snow. But the other thing is working, as Gail said, with felt. It's a much easier medium to work in and to applique on, because you've got a certain rigidity in the felt, which I think helps with the applique, but also it doesn't fray, so you're not having to deal with any worries of, it's a raw edge, it's all going to sort of go a bit wrong. It's a very, very forgiving medium, and it is it's something we really enjoy working with it a lot.
And there's some great tips in there from Gail as well for your candy canes, you said. So beautiful. That is your centrepiece in your table, just stunning. £13.49. You get all the felt in there and the fantastic pattern as well, 011665. We've got our lovely tea party now, one lump or two. This is our tea cozy, our lovely teacups with our sugar lump pins, our measuring tape and a jammy dodger, our bourbon biscuits, which is a little sewing caddy, isn't it, for our sewing needles, our beautiful, beautiful coasters. So this is a comprehensive kit, isn't it, Sue?
It is. I put them together because, again, as I said earlier, sometimes people like to make presents for people, and tea and cakes. I don't know about you, Fee, but I've sort of rediscovered my inner Mary stroke Delia since we've been in lockdown, so I've been making a lot of cakes, and some good and some not so good, but I've really enjoyed it. So I think, again, for a lot of people, baking has become quite an important part of their new lifestyle, really. So I thought it would be quite fun to put that in, and the tea, I love the teacups. I've always thought they were really terrific as well. So yeah, they're just nice little patterns, all the instructions in there, all of the applique to do. So if you choose to make a tea cozy, that's lovely, but that shop front would make a really lovely cushion as well, wouldn't it? Or
gorgeous.
Even the start of a quilt. You never know. As Gail said, often we will hopefully give the inspiration to everyone at home, and then it's lovely to see what people actually do with things and where they take an idea.
You can't beat a tea cosy. I did a lovely china tea for a friend's birthday and got all the china cups out and the cake stands, and my tea cosy's a bit decrepit, to be honest. And
We need a posh tea
seen better
cosy.
days.
Yes,
I need to make a nice one like this. £13.99 016365. Breaking news: the Happy Camper van is sold out. We're going to have a quick word with Sue about if we can get some more and get it all extended. We're chatting as we speak. I'll tell you that now in a second. This is lovely. This is gorgeous. This is our gorgeous, gorgeous Santa fleece. I know this is a trademark of lovely Gail's designs, and all the extras that daisy chains bring us as well. Absolutely beautiful. Please don't miss out. I know you love these. So this is the pattern, and you've thrown in some lovely Christmas buttons there.
I have. I just put a little pack of Christmas buttons in it. If you choose to put it on the quilt to help you to get started, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if you're making it for small children, just be mindful of buttons and things like that. I don't need to obviously go through all of that. But, you could personalise it for the child. When I made a quilt, fun enough, I made a fleece quilt for my niece when she went off to university, and I just changed it out to Sophie's quilt, which was really nice. It said Snuggle originally, and I changed it to Sophie. And, again, you can just put a name on there for a child or an adult. I think the thing with the fleece quilts is it transcends ages, really. Everyone from sort of 5 to 105, can enjoy a fleece quilt. And I'll never forget, years ago at a quilt show, I had a very elderly lady come up to the stand. She was in a wheelchair, and just the look on her face as she stroked the quilt was just lovely. It sort of took back years. Yeah. And her daughter said, I'll buy the pattern, Mum, and I'll make one for you. And you could see she'd really enjoy it. So
we're always drawn to them here. We always want to snuggle up. 999 069256. Don't forget your lovely mittens are proving very popular. We've got different tags, mittens, later on in the second show. And of course, if you're admiring the gorgeous Christmas socks, do shop ahead for those, because that's only the second time they have been on air. Just to flag that up, we've got Razzle, Jacob and our lovely Snow
person, that snowman, there he is, I don't know, I can't, lost my speech there, and Santa. Now, Happy Camper Van, we're bending the Sue's ear there, is available now on extended delivery, 14 days, just because the poor woman needs time to get things together. God, £17.49, so it's now, you can get it, we sold out, but it's now on extended delivery, 920272, and we're back at 11 with a completely different show, just to flag that up. Gail, back to you, my darling.
Lovely, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the little sausage dog. Okay, in your kit, you'll get all the different fabrics, the stripy fabrics, and the one thing that I say right at the beginning of the pattern, before we start joining these fabrics together, for the little heart balloons and that are in the pattern, you need to cut those out first. So what you're going to do is you're going to applique the hearts and the butterfly wings and that on your 3-inch strips before we join the rest together. So we can trace out our sausage dog. You can see you've got a front and a back, and like Sue said earlier, if you wanted, he could be one continuous dog. I just want to share one quick thing with you before I go on to joining the fabric. Once you've got the pattern, again, if you didn't want to join all the fabrics, then why not use a stripy fabric? So you can see here that rather than join lots and lots of strips together, I've just gone straight for a stripy fabric and then still use the same applique. So you can just have fun with the design once you've got it. So we trace these off onto our fusible first, and then we're going to join our fabrics together. So somebody did ask me, could they use a jelly roll to do this? And yes, you could, but the jelly roll strips are a little wider. So you've got two choices. You could either just use them at their width, which is a 2.5-inch strip, or you can just trim them down, because what I've done is I've used 2-inch strips. But there's nothing to stop you, you know, doing whatever you want once you've got the pattern. Now I've joined all the strips together. In the pattern I tell you which way I joined mine and which way the colours go. It really doesn't matter, you can have fun with it. And unlike with normal patchwork where you would press all the seams to one side, for this we've pressed them open. The reason for that is that we just want to make one continuous piece of fabric, and also what it does is it reduces the bulk. So I don't want big lumps when I come to applique, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my sausage dog onto the paper and fuse it down. Now, something to think about, if you want the two sausage dogs to sort of join, okay, you're going to want, where his tummy is, you're going to want it to be the same colour. So don't pop them both on this way, you'll need to turn this piece around, are you with me? So that his stomach section will join as one continuous length when you've got the two cushions together. You might be thinking, I don't know what she's talking about, but it will all become clear in the pattern. The same as if the dog is going all the way around the bag, okay, we want him to be continuous going around the bag. So you'll just need to turn your pattern around. So you can see here's one now. You can see where I've cut it from. So that'll give you an indicator of how much fabric that you've got. You see I've got lots of fabric and I've already cut one of the dogs out. Okay, so there he is, all cut out. And then he's good to go. He's ready to put on my background fabric. What I want to do with you is share about his ear. Okay, so in the if you look closely at the one on the counter, his ear actually flaps, and so his tail wags as well. Okay, so to achieve that, what I've done is I've actually appliqued it, but I've appliqued it onto some felt. Now, because I sometimes sound like a little bit obsessive in things, I actually want the ear to match. So I want this bit of yellow to be there and that bit of purple to be there as well. So when I know where the colours are, I actually put my fusible, okay, once I've cut his ear out, I don't know if you can see this one, I actually put that on there and I draw a line, okay, down there, because I know it's two different colours. Okay, so I've drawn a line on there. So when I put this then onto my fabric, I can make sure that I've got purple and yellow. So can you see that's where I've got the two different colours? Because when it comes to his ear, I want it to actually match perfectly. Now, you could argue again that it really doesn't matter, but it's the small things like this that matter to me. If it doesn't matter to you, then that's fine. So I've appliqued it onto my felt, I've then cut around the edge of it, and then I've done a blanket stitch all the way around. And when I come to put this onto the background, I just attach it with a little stitch at the top, and then the ear can flap nicely. And the same with his waggy tail on the other side. I've used the same technique as well for the butterflies on the design. So I've actually appliqued my first butterfly down, and you can see this is solid to the fabric or to the cushion. I've done a blanket stitch all the way around, and again I've used the same technique again, where I've appliqued now a second set of wings to a piece of felt, and then I've stitched all the way around the edge of that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that then on top of the original one, and then that will allow the wings to flap, and it just gives that bag that little bit more of a three-dimensional look, and I think it just like enhances your project. Again, if you want, you could just go for the straight flat butterfly. It's entirely up to you. So going on to the handles and that, I know I'm skipping through this quite quickly, but I just want to share a couple of bits and pieces with you.
We've got about 3 minutes, just so you know, Gail.
Perfect. I'm going to talk to you about the handles and the edge of the cushion. So they've got a really nice trim. Well, I think it's a really nice trim, but it's got a really nice trim to it. And again, we're going to use the leftover pieces of fabric that we've got. So this time, I take a piece of fusible, and with my leftover fabric, I'll just bring the fabric in. You see, I've just taken a piece of fusible and I've just ironed it onto my leftover stripe fabric, and then with a rotary cutter and ruler, I've just cut strips, and that's what gives me that lovely decorative edge. So it's a nice way of using up all the scraps. In the pattern, I explain to you how to do it and what size the strips are. And for the bag handles, because the bag handles are really long, I've actually trimmed off a few bits of fabric, added it onto the end to give me one continuous length as well. So this is the cushion back, okay, and I want to explain to you now how to get that nice edge on the cushion back. I've got a nice trim on the edge. So I'm going to fold the fabric. Now, I don't know whether any of you have done this before, like a double fold, where you fold the edge and then you fold it over again and then you press it and then you do a row of stitching on either side. And I don't know about you, but I can never get really nice straight edges. So what I do, you can buy some fancy tools, but I just use a piece of, this is a heavyweight violin, and that I use it in lots of my projects, like the Gingerbread House, that gives things form and that. And I've actually just drawn lines on there. I've drawn a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, a 1 inch, a 1.5 inch. So when I want to iron an edge, I actually lay my fabric down. I then put my piece of violin on, and then I fold the fabric over.
That's a good tip.
Okay, so what that does is it gives me a really nice sharp edge, and it gives me something to press against, and I can move it along, and then I can make sure that it's definitely 1/2 inch all the way along, so I don't start off at 1/2 inch here and end up a 1/4 inch by the time I get to the end.
That's a good top tip, but can you believe we've come to the end of the show?
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Gail.
I've got so much to share.
I know.
Time.
So if you've got any questions, you're back with us at 11. I'm so sorry. I hate interrupting you.
No problem.
It's fantastic to listen to. There's such top tips, but I just want to say 2/3 of the stock of the lovely sausage, over 2/3 of the stock of the sausage dog is gone. Don't forget, we've got the camper van on extended delivery now. In 2 weeks' time, it will be dispatched. Don't forget, the front runner on the mittens is the red, but we've got it in the 3 other colourways of the grey and obviously the blue and the green. The gingerbread quilt is proving very popular. The jingle bell quilt, sorry. Don't forget our lovely, lovely Christmas stockings. Oh, it's just glorious tea party. But the show at 11 o'clock is going to be completely different. So I want to say massive thank you, Sue. Massive thank you, Gail.
Thank you,
If you've got any
Phoebe.
questions, email us in advance. And yeah, do join us at 11 o'clock. But plenty more to see. Indeed there is. We've got some stunning handmade papers in the one-day special with Joe and Scott next. Then we will craft ourselves silly, and then we'll join Blanche for the La Blanche weekend special. But we've got daisy chains back at 11.
Hi, I'm Bev. Hi, I'm Sam. And we're from Be Crafty. Be Crafty is a family-run company. Sam is my sister. And we love bringing brand new products to Hochanda. We manufacture and design all our own ranges of stamps, inkables, MDF, lots and lots of inspiration that we love to bring and share with you. If you tune in to Hochanda to join us, you'll see that mine and Bev's style are totally different. But what that does is it brings you lots of styles and techniques that you can include in your crafting too. Our ranges are increasing all the time with the lovely hand-drawn images that Sam and myself are trying to bring to you, plus the fantastic new designs that we like to bring in the Inkables, in the Dinkables and the MDF as well, so you can use them across all different sorts of crafts and bring the best we can to Hochanda too. So make sure you don't miss the Be Crafty shows on Hochanda.
Did you know you can watch Hochanda 24 hours a day, 7 days a week using the Hochanda app on your Amazon Fire Stick for free? Just like your smartphone accesses an app store to add new applications, your Amazon Fire Stick accesses the Amazon App Store to add new applications. By downloading the Hochanda app, you'll be able to access your favourite craft channel on your TV anytime you want to watch. Here's how to do it. Simply turn on your TV and connect your Amazon Fire Stick. If this is your first time using the device, follow the on-screen instructions to connect to the internet and log into your Amazon account. Once set up, you'll need to open the search bar. To do so, simply use your remote circular directional dial to scroll to the search icon and select it. Now simply type Hochanda into the search bar and this will take you to the Hochanda app. All you need to do now is select download, and remember, it's free. Once this is added to your Fire Stick, you can move the app for easy access. Press and hold your home button on any app and then select apps from the menu that appears. Scroll down to the Hochanda app and press the button with the 3 horizontal lines on your remote and select Move to Front. And that's it! You can now watch, purchase and catch up with your favourite shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on your TV whenever you feel crafty.
Hi, I'm Lou from Studio Light. Studio Light has been around for about 40 years now. They're based in the Netherlands. It's a family-run business with a great heritage. The products that Studio Light bring us are very diverse, fantastic dyes, great papers, but all round on trend. Over the 40 years Studio Light have evolved. They listen to me, the demonstrator, and you, the customers, and really take our ideas on board. On the Hochanda shows, we'll share with you the diverse techniques and products will inspire you to produce your own individual pieces of artwork. So make sure you don't miss the Studio Light shows on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Jenny Mays from Hobby Art. Hobby Art's a family-run company and we've been designing and manufacturing stamps for over 28 years now. We have an extensive range of clear and rubber stamps and we're proud that they're all manufactured in Britain. Whatever your style, there's always something that will interest you with Hobby Art stamps. Crafting is my passion and I love teaching. I love sharing my ideas with other people. This is why I enjoy being part of the Hochanda family, because I have the time to share my ideas, maybe open a door for somebody and give them the confidence to start stamping. So make sure you join me, Jenny Mays, on Hochanda.
Hello, everybody.